Good morning, students. So today we start a new topic, which one is Argand plane, and with this Argand plane also we have to start polar representation. So first of all we discuss about the Argand plane. So actually what is Argand plane? So in Argand plane mainly we get two axes. So before we start the Argand plane, if we recall in class 10, if we recall there are two a plane we get, which one is xy plane, as well as also we can say Cartesian plane, is not it? In class 10 we get this one. So this Cartesian plane or xy plane, mainly there what we get two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate, is not it? So here in Argand plane also we have to draw this type of xy plane, and let's see how can we plot the complex number on this Argand plane. So mainly we have to discuss here what type of plane we get here. Is it clear? Okay, let's start now. This one is an xy plane, which one we get in class 10, is not it? So now mainly here, if anyone asks you any ordered pair, or if any point, if we need to plot here, suppose 2, 3 we have to plot, so easily we can plot here this 2, 3 point, is not it? So here 2 the x coordinate, 3 is what the y coordinate, so easily we can plot. So now here mainly we discuss about the Argand plane. So in Argand plane, so how can we plot? Suppose any complex number, if suppose given here, suppose 2 plus 3i given to us. So how can we plot this point on the xy plane, or how can we mention this one? So mainly here in case of Argand plane, what you have to do, the x axis here, this one is x axis. So here the x axis represent as a real axis. Is it clear? So that means real axis. So this one is very important here. X axis we represent as a real axis, and the y axis we represent as imaginary axis. In Argand plane mainly these two axes are very important. In generally in xy plane what we can say, this one is x axis as well as y axis. So x axis is the real axis and the y axis is the what? The imaginary axis. Is it clear? So if we mention these two, so now easily we can plot this type of points here. So when a complex number given to us, from there we have to identify first the ordered pair. So here the real number, so here this 2 is the real part, is not it? And this 3i is what? The imaginary part. So here the real number is what? 2, and here the imaginary number, if we multiply 3i, then it is imaginary, but here the real number is what? 3 here. So this one is the ordered pair here, 2 and 3. So when we draw an Argand plane, this one is the Argand plane here, combination of real axis and imaginary axis. So this one is Argand plane. So now here if we plot this point, suppose here 1, 2, that means 2, 1, 2, 3, y axis 3, imaginary axis, real axis, so 3, 2, that means this one is the point. So this coordinate here we can mention as a 2, 3, and this 2, 3, this one is the imaginary axis, so 3i, and this 2 is the real number, so that's why 2. So this 2 plus 3i we can represent like in this way here. So this point, imaginary axis here, so from the origin if you join, or later on we discuss this one. So 2, 3, so if any complex number if mentioned to plotting on the Argand plane, so in this way we have to find out the order pair, and then if we plot the point, so easily we can find out, or we can identify, or we can plot the point in this way. Is it clear? So any number, suppose if we consider another example, suppose minus 2 plus 3i, if anyone asks you to plot this point on the Argand plane, so how can we plot? This minus 2 is what? The x-axis, and this 3 is what? The y-axis. So minus 2, so here minus 2 obviously we get here, and 3, that means in this place. So this coordinate is here minus 2 plus 3i, that means this one is a complex number here in this, so we can plot. Is it clear? So very simple here, just we have to identify the ordered pair, and then from there we get. So now here if anyone asks you how can we write down the definition of the Argand plane. So in case of Argand plane, what you have to say, the plane having a complex number assigned to each of its point is called a complex plane, or also we can say Argand plane. Is it clear? If I repeat this one, the plane having a complex number, that means this one is the complex number here, 2 plus 3i or minus 2 plus 3i. A plane having a complex number assigned to each of its point is called, that means here the point is 2, another point is here 3, so that's why we mentioned 2, 3 is called the Argand plane or complex plane. So this x-axis is the real axis and y-axis we mention as an imaginary axis. Is it clear? Okay, now after Argand plane, so if any complex number, if we plot on the Argand plane, so this one is the Argand plane here. Argand means what? This one is the real axis, imaginary axis, so that means any complex number given to us. Suppose the complex number is here mentioned as x plus iy. X is the real part, iy is the imaginary part, and which one is z here? This complex number suppose given to us. So now here both are positive, here x y positive, so that means obviously from here easily we can identify in which quadrant it lies. So now here, if suppose the point is here, this one is the point, so here the coordinates are x and y, so that means at this place, and this one, if we denote this one is p suppose, and the point is x comma y, this one we have to mention, and here this one is what? The origin means we have to write 0 comma 0. Is it clear? So now this one is the point p x y, and the complex number, this complex number here x y, so that's how we have to write x y. This one is real axis, imaginary axis. Is it clear? So if anyone asks you what is the distance of this OP, so what you have to do, how can we find out the distance OP here now? This one is mainly here we have to discuss. So in general, when we get this type of coordinates in class 10, we know we have to apply the distance formula. Is not it? With the help of distance formula we find out this one. Or if you apply the same formula here, what we get? X minus 0 whole square, y minus 0 whole square. So ultimately what we get here? Root over x square plus y square. Is not it? This one we get here. So with the help of distance formula in this, so we can find out the result. So now here, if anyone asks you to find out the distance here, so mainly here we have to write what? This one we have to write root over x square plus y square. Root over x square plus y square we have to write. Is it clear? So this one we write here. Using the distance formula we get this result. Is it visible? Okay. Now if you see here, if we mention x square plus y square, so in different way in Argand plane we can find out this distance through the modulus of a complex number also. Is it clear? So modulus of a complex number, already we discussed what is modulus. If a complex number z equal to x plus I have mentioned. So here if anyone asks you to find out the modulus of z, then what you have to write here? Root over x square plus y square. So this one is same as root over x square plus y square or not? So here we use the distance formula and get this result x square plus y square. Is not it? And if you see here the modulus of z is also root over x square plus y square. Is not it? So that means in place of root over x square plus y square, what we can write here? We can write this modulus of z also. That means in place of this one we can write modulus of z also. Is it clear? Is it clear? So if any coordinate here we get, if any complex number we get, in place of this one we can write modulus of z also. Clear? So from distance formula and from the modulus formula we compared, and then we get this one is modulus of z. So now in this case, if you see here, if we draw a perpendicular from here, so this one is the y distance and this one is what? X distance. So if distance is x, if it is y, then we get the coordinate is x comma y. Is not it? So now here, since this one is the real axis, already we mentioned, so that's why here the real part is what? X. Now here this one is what? Imaginary axis. Is not it? So imaginary axis means any real number, if we multiply with I, then it is imaginary. So that means here the value is real number is what? Y. The real number is here y. And with this y, how much we have to multiply? We have to multiply I. and then what we get here? Then we get imaginary. So that's why here mainly what we get here, if anyone asks you to find out the complex number here, real part, imaginary part, and we multiply with I. So that's why we have to write x plus iy. Is it clear? So that's why we have to write this one is x plus iy. So here in Argand plane, so no doubt this one is an Argand plane, and in Argand plane the x-axis is known as real axis and the y-axis is known as imaginary axis. Is it clear? So this one is the main point of an Argand plane. Next one is here, polar representation of a complex number. So in polar representation of a complex number, first of all, if we consider an Argand plane here, which this one is the Argand plane. So Argand plane means this one is the real axis and this one is what? The imaginary axis. So if any complex number, if we consider, suppose if we consider a complex number z equals to x plus iy, so easily we can plot this point on this xy plane, is not it? So here the ordered pair is what? X and y. So here if we consider this point x and y, suppose this one is p point and here we consider this one is x comma y, ordered pair. If you draw the perpendicular y distance, x distance, so easily we can get this result, the complex number x iy. So in first quadrant, so that's why p x comma y we write here. Is it clear? So now here, if this point is the origin, if it is origin, so now here what you have to do, from this origin, if we join this one and if we consider the distance is here, suppose r, and from this x-axis in positive direction, if the angle is here, we consider suppose theta. You see here, if we consider this angle is theta and the distance from the origin to this p point is r, if we consider, then from here easily we can identify the polar representation means what? The trigonometric form. So what you have to do in this way, we have to consider these two, and these two are known as r and theta. These two are known as polar coordinates. Is it clear? So these two are known as polar coordinates. So that's why we have to consider this one. Angle is theta and the distance is what we consider r. Now in this case, what you have to, let's see here. From this p, if we draw a perpendicular on the x-axis, is it clear? And if you denote this point is suppose q. Now here from this O to q, this distance is x, and from q to p or pq, this distance is how much? Y. So we have to convert this xy coordinate. Xy is the Cartesian form and r theta is the polar form. Is it clear? So that means this one is a complex number in the form of Cartesian form. What is the form? This one? Cartesian form. And now what we have to convert? This one we have to convert into polar form. Is it clear? So that's why the polar coordinates are r and theta. Now let's see, from this triangle easily we can convert this one into polar form, and this r and theta are what? Polar coordinate. Is it clear? So now if you see this one, the triangle OPQ, separately if we drawn here, if you see this one is P, this one is O, this one is Q, angle is how much? Theta, and the distance is how much? R. So here it is x, this one is y. Separately here we drawn here. Now when we draw the perpendicular, so obviously this angle is what? 90 degree. If it is 90 degree, easily we can apply the trigonometric formula. So in this case theta is here, 90 degree is here, so OQ is what? Base, and PQ is what? Perpendicular. So that means this one easily we can represent as a base, as not it, and this one is perpendicular. All of you understood this one? This one is a right angle triangle, theta is here, 90 degrees here, so that's why this side is what? Included side is which one? OQ, so that's why it is base, and opposite of this angle is here, this one, so perpendicular, and the opposite of 90 is what here? Opposite of 90 is here hypotenuse, is not it? So there are some trigonometric formulas are there. So if we apply the sine trigonometric form, so that means the angle is here sine theta. Sine theta equal to what? Perpendicular by hypotenuse, is not it? So perpendicular by hypotenuse. So what is perpendicular here? PQ. So PQ by OP. So this one we have to write OP, perpendicular by hypotenuse. So now here in this case, if you see here sine theta, so sine theta equals to PQ means what? PQ means y. If you see here, PQ means y. So that's why we have to write this one is y. And OP means what? OP, if you see here, OP means we consider R. So this result we write here R. And from here easily we can identify the value of y here. Y equal to how much? So y equal to R sin theta. Y equal to R sin theta. Is it clear? Y equal to R sin theta we get here. Similarly, so here another one we can write here. If we again, here I write, if we write cos theta. Cos theta equal to what? Trigonometric form, base by hypotenuse. Base is how much? OQ, hypotenuse OP. So OQ by OP, is not it? So in this case, this one is we have to write cos theta. OQ means what? OQ means X and OP means R. So that's why we have to write this one is X by R. Is it clear? And from here, what we get? X equal to R cos theta. X equal to R cos theta. So here you see two results are we get. Y equal to R sin theta and X equal to R cos theta. From this right angle triangle we get these two results. So now if we put this X and Y value in Cartesian form, so already we write down the Cartesian form. The Cartesian form is this one. So here if we write Z, so in place of Z what we can write? In place of Z also we can write modulus of Z, actually this one, Z equal to X plus IY, we get modulus of Z, is not it? So in place of modulus of Z we can write this distance, is not it? So R means also we can represent by modulus of Z, isn't it? So R equal to modulus of Z here. So modulus of Z. So just you have to see this polar form now. Here in place of X what you have to write? R cos theta, and Y equal to what we write? R sin theta. So Z equals to simply we have to write R cos theta plus I R sin theta. You see here this one. So now the name of this result is what? The Cartesian form, and this R cos theta plus I R sin theta. This one is what? The polar form. Is it clear? So from the polar form we can convert into Cartesian form, and from Cartesian form we can convert to polar form. Is it clear? So this one is the polar representation of a complex number. After getting the polar coordinates here, X equal to R cos theta and Y equal to R sin theta we get. So some names are there. No doubt this R comma theta, R and theta are known as polar coordinates. So individually what is the name of this R and theta? So this R, the name of this R is what? Also we can say R equals to what? Modulus of Z. So this R is also we can say modulus of Z. So if anyone asks you how can we say this R and modulus of Z are equal, you see here, if you see the diagram separately, very simple, this one is P O Q, the distance is X and here distance is Y, and we write this one is the polar form, we write this one is R. So no doubt this one is a right angle triangle. So if it is a right angle triangle, easily we can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square. So R square equal to what we can write here? X square plus Y square we can write. Sorry. Or this implies, or therefore if you take the square root, so R equal to what you have to write? Root over X square plus Y square we have to write. Sorry. So one more thing we know here, if Z equal to X plus IY, a complex number, then modulus of Z equal to what? Modulus of Z equals to, we have to write root over X square plus Y square. Can we write? If Z equal to X plus IY, then modulus of Z equal to X square plus Y square we can write. So now let's see here, when we apply the Pythagoras theorem, then also we get X equal to root over X square plus Y square. So from these two, one here, another one is this one. So from these two, what we can say here? R equals to modulus of Z. Isn't it? So here root over X square plus Y square, here root over X square plus Y square. So that's why R equal to what we can say? modulus of z. So that's why here written r equals to modulus of z. Is it clear? So that means if anyone asks you what is r, then easily we can say r is what? Modulus of z. R is what? Modulus of z. So if anyone asks you to find out the value of r, so using this formula we can easily find out the value of r here. This formula? Root over x square plus y square. Is it clear? From here easily we can find out the value of r. Okay, now after that, next one is here theta. Actually, what is theta? So theta is known as the argument of a complex number or amplitude. Argument or amplitude we can say. So next one is theta means argument or amplitude of a complex number. Argument. So how can we identify the argument and amplitude here? This one is very important part here, because modulus of z is very easy, or modulus of r here z, that means r root over x square plus y square. If we calculate, then we get the answer here. But in case of amplitude or argument, so here the intervals or the x-axis, so you see here axis at this place angle is 0, 90, pi, 3 pi by 2, again 0, isn't it? One round here, 0 to twice pi. So lots of things are here. If an angle lies here, if an angle here, if angle lies here in this place, then how can we identify the amplitude or argument? So if anyone asks you find out the amplitude or argument, that means we have to find out the value of theta. Is it clear? Or if anyone asks you to find out the modulus, then we have to find out r. These two are amplitude and modulus. I think all of you understood this one. Okay.